Hey everyone, the day is finally here where I get to redo my pantry. I have wanted to do this for a long time, but time just never allowed. And the kids and Sam planned an impromptu trip to Lincoln so that Sam and Christian could golf with my brother-in-law. Chloe's gonna hang out with her cousins. And I chose to stay here and kind of get this done. I have desperately wanted to get it done before school starts just because this place is not working for me and hasn't for a little while. I just feel like things are put different places and my jar system isn't totally how I want it to be. So I am going to tackle this while they're gone. That way they can come back, it'll be done. The boys don't have to help me out because I think sometimes they get a little tired of me asking for help with projects because my mind never stops and the project list never ends. So anyhow, that is what I'm doing today.
If this is your first time here, my name is Melissa Hunegart and I show all things cooking, cleaning, organizing, and decorating, basically all things homemaking. I would love it if you would pause this video and subscribe to our growing community, and if you are returning, it is so great to see you again.
So just a little bit of insight. A lot of this is, for the most part, going to stay the same from an organizational standpoint. My jar system, I am going to change a little bit just because there are some things here that Pinterest told me that I needed to get for recipes that I literally never made. I don't know who I'm kidding. Like, I don't want recipes that take more than like 20-30 minutes, if I'm being honest. And so some of the things in here, I was like, oh, that would be so great to like have that stocked and that looks so pretty and blah, blah, blah. No, for me, I love aesthetic. I love things looking beautiful and organized and whatever, but it has to be functional. And my jar system is not functional. I have things there that I don't even use, and therefore I have things like protein over here that I do use all the time, just sitting in containers like that. So I need to get those all organized and labeled accordingly. I only want to have things in here that I use on a regular basis. Kind of my main thing for this year, and when I say this year, I kind of mean like school year, just because that is starting up after summer. I feel like nobody eats normal during summer. Maybe it's just us, I don't know. But I don't want things in here that we just don't use. Like, what is the point? That is not allowing this place to be functional. I just want to make recipes that, you know, call for things that we keep in stock. I want this to be an easy place for me to maneuver around, for my family to maneuver around, and for everything to kind of have a place to, you know, go back home to, if you will. My cans are pretty much in a place that works. I will say there are a few things in there that I probably don't use that I could get rid of. Everything is just kind of put in there at this point. Like, I don't know if there's a specific place for all of that. So that I do want to kind of tackle. That bucket down there, I don't even know what's in there. That has kind of become the throw-all. And then over here, this will all pretty much stay the same. I want to organize it a little bit differently for snacks and stuff with school coming up. And so that will change a tiny bit, but I'm still going to keep the same basket system. I need to redo my labels just because some of the things have kind of changed a little bit. From a aesthetic standpoint, what we're doing, oh, and over here, this will for the most part stay the same. Let me get a different angle. So I did a video about this a while back. I will link it up above. But this is my yearly meal plan. So I schedule for a year, and I know some of you are like, holy cow, what in the world? If you go back and watch my video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. However, I'm going to be doing a new one coming up with a new meal plan, just because For one thing, we are now vegan. We've been vegan since January 3rd. And so a lot of these recipes have changed and I'm actually not even using them. And so I need to switch that around and kind of get that more functional to our current lifestyle. But that will be in a totally different video. I have so many videos, friends, coming up that if you are not subscribed and haven't clicked the bell to notify you when I post new videos, you might miss out, just because there are so many coming around the bend for back to school and for fall and all of that. So just in order for you to not miss out or have to look all the time, just click on those things and it'll be a little bit easier to find. So back here, these are the school bags that the kids use for lunches and snacks for sports and things like that. I am going to be doing a separate video on the things that we use for school. For us, we don't start school for a little over a month, so that's why I haven't done any back to school stuff, especially, so we've been on vacation until this morning at 1:30 is actually when we got home. So I am clearly a glutton for punishment taking this on today, but I so desperately wanted to get it done, and I have the opportunity to do it alone. I don't have to worry about feeding people for the next 24 hours, actually probably like 30 hours. So I can just totally tackle this and get it done. So back to this, from an aesthetic standpoint, the shell itself is going to be black. So I'm going to be painting that tricorn black. The walls are going to stay the same. Don't mind my bananas that I forgot to put in the freezer before we left. I need to now freeze those and get those in there for smoothies. But anyway, the walls are going to remain the same. Our entire house, I get questions on this all the time. Our whole entire house is Pussy Willow by Sherwin-Williams. Our last 3 houses have been that color. I don't swap out different colors in different rooms. I just like a very kind of blank slate, and then my decor goes around that. So anyway, that is what this is going to remain. And then the shelf part of the pantry, I am, that everything sits on, I am going to take that down to natural wood. So there is not going to be any paint on that. It's just going to be wood, and then I'll of course seal that for stains and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing. Now I'm going to take all of this stuff out of here, get it ready for the big work, and I will bring you guys along with me, and then I will show you obviously the finished product and what it all looks like. It was something in the air. So because I can't just do one thing, I had to go ahead and add another project in here. But again, friends, I don't have anybody to feed, so I'm going to take full advantage of getting things done. While we were in Tahoe, I found a coffee table on Marketplace, and my dad was kind enough to run and pick it up for me. But I want to paint this gold to go in the living room. So the bones of this are good, but the color is not one that I want to go into the living room. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this down, and then I'm going to spray paint it with the gold that I've used in the rest of the house. I feel like in my living room I have a lot of the black iron already in the shelving, and so I need to kind of mute that down just a little bit in that space because it's not a huge space really. And don't mind all of the cicadas that decided to sing just now as I was talking. But I like this, I love it. The top is glass, the bottom has a glass piece also, but yet I'm kind of toying with the idea of maybe doing like a rattan kind of thing underneath it at some point. Not today, but that will be maybe second steps. So I'm going to go ahead and run this out there into the driveway, spray paint it. That way I can also be doing this project while I'm doing the other two projects, but get everything kind of sort of done at the same time.
I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. 'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's oh so strong. It goes on and on, on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy. Cause I can feel the energy. I've met my demons one too many times. They taught me lows are what makes you feel so high. No matter how far my mind would wander, I'd always dare it to go even farther. 'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's oh so strong. It goes on and on, on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I can feel the energy. I can feel it.
After painting the base of the pantry, I needed to get all of the paint off of the shelves, and so I just used regular paint stripper, and it's super easy to use. You just, like you see here, pour it on. I brushed it around with a brush. You let it set for about 8 to 10 minutes, and you will start to see the paint literally lift up and kind of curdle, if you will, right off of the surface. So really easy to use. It didn't really leave any residue after that I needed to clean up, so I was thankful for that. And 32 shelves later, we got it done.
Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me, wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top.
Once the paint was off of the shelves, I went ahead and sanded all of them. I wanted just really that bare bones look, and so anything that was left on the shelves, I just wanted that off, any discoloration. We did not build this house, and so the previous owner, these shelves were actually stained just kind of an oak color. So all of that was also underneath what I had painted white a couple years ago. So I just wanted everything nice and fresh, all the same color. So here you just see me going through and just sanding everything down. I will forewarn you that as this video goes on, my appearance deteriorates drastically. The level of sawdust and just sweat from grinding, just it's a true thing. All totally worth it, but maybe not the best aesthetic for a video, but it's true life, so it is what it is. After I went ahead and sanded all of that down, I just wiped everything off. That way I wasn't putting, sawdust into the pantry and then putting things on top of that. So that's what I'm doing here, is just wiping these down with a damp rag, and then just letting them, kind of air dry for a few minutes, and then went ahead and put them back in the pantry.
We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. You like the fast life, you like to drive, get down and dirty, act like the bad guy. You want some love, me like when you feel like calling at midnight. You got the best of me, you got me losing sleep. I've been hopeful, baby, I was hoping maybe that you'd cross my path. I've been sinking lately, and it's hard to move. Think I'm stuck on you. We're in trances, going off to different places, different planets.
Before I took all of the shelves out of the pantry originally, before painting, I took a picture of where I had all of them. That way I knew where to put them back. Generally speaking, a few of them I kind of tweaked a little bit, but honestly, for the most part, all of my shelf alignment is the same. But I would highly suggest taking a picture prior to doing that, because it just gives you a little bit of a floor plan. And so you'll see I glance at my phone every once in a while, and that is just so that I can measure, how many holes are between these two shelves, and That way I can get everything where it needs to be. But again, I would highly, highly recommend taking pictures before. That way you at least have some sort of a floor plan, and then you can just kind of tweak it along the way according to where you end up putting things in the end.
Alright guys, here she is. I've never been in love with a pantry before, but this might be that moment. I am so happy with how it turned out. Was it easy? No. The painting part, this part here was easy. However, the sanding of the shelves and like removing the paint and like lacquer stain from before when I painted them, that was not my favorite part. It wasn't hard, it was just so time consuming. So I'm really glad that I chose to do it right now when everybody was gone, because I didn't have to do anything else really other than that. Like I could just focus on that. But it's super doable and I'm really happy with the outcome. So now what I need to do is go ahead and get everything back in here. Oh, and there's our little cutting board that we sanded off that I used to have up there on that top kind of middle shelf. And I was actually really surprised to have such a cool pattern underneath the paint. So I'm really happy that I didn't buy another one and used what I had. So like I said, we need to fill the shelves. Don't mind my totally disastrous house right now. Ugh. That's all right. We're making progress and it will not always be here. I need to go through all of this stuff and figure out what I want to keep, because like I said before, there's stuff that we don't use that is just in there. Some of it because I had really high expectations for myself. Like for instance, all of these cookie cutters. Come on. Like, so we obviously use some of these, but not all of these. Like we use the Christmas tree. I don't know if that's flour or sawdust. Well, that needs cleaned, I guess. This, couldn't even begin to tell you. But like this right here, no, I'm not going to use that. Not going to use this. I don't know, I might keep that one. Chloe might like to do something with that. This little like these are super cute, but they just take up so much space. That is the problem. So we're not going to use the mitten. The gingerbread, we will keep him. I need to think this is not sawdust. This is our biscuit maker, so that I want to keep. The Christmas tree, we do use that one every year. But then like some of these, like an egg, I don't do that. I haven't done that for years. So why do I have it? That's kind of the thing. Like if you have to think a long time about it, it's probably a no. This little guy, we use. We do not use that. The train. Well, I'm just in a very different season of life than I was before. Like, we do stuff as a family, but I'm not making cookies for every holiday. This little guy, he's got a crooked leg. This, I don't even know. Like, alright, which snowflake do you like?
Which snowflake out of these two?
Yeah.
I like this better. So keep that
And
one.
do we like this one or this one?
This. Wait, we're not keeping the mitten?
Honey, we've not used the mitten in like forever, have we?
It's cute though. I used it last year.
Really?
Yeah. The candy cane?
No,
Oh, we already have a
We
candy
have a
cane.
candy cane down here.
Wait, we're getting rid of these.
No, I'm going through them. So which candy cane would you rather have?
This one.
This one has more space to decorate.
Yeah. It's an elf shoe.
Are we gonna use it?
No. Sleigh. I can keep all these.
No, we're not gonna use it.
Why? Okay,
We already have a gingerbread over here. Do you want that gingerbread or do you want this one?
that one.
Okay, because we don't need to.
Okay.
We can make a whole family with just one.
Keep the rest.
Okay. So I'm so glad that we could bring you all along on our deciding. Clearly my family is back. All right, so we've got that in here. I need to clean out that bucket, obviously, because it looks like it has cookies from last year. Chloe, which reindeer do you want to keep? Oh wait, we decided this one.
Out of what?
These
Oh.
two. The antlers on this one might be easier to decorate because I feel like these antlers always pop off because they're so skinny. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining our family meeting, everyone. All right. So I have that figured out. And then down here, we just have all of these sprinkles and stuff. Honestly, the reason that we have all of these and that I'm probably going to keep all of them, I'll have to look through here, but we do a Christmas party and we decorate cookies. Sorry, I'm trying to look and think at the same time. And so I'm probably going to keep these because I do know that they will get used because I bought some extra last year in an effort to not have to pay full price this year because they were clearanced out after the holidays. So we'll deal with that later. And then let's see. All right, so all of these are donate. What else? I want to put all of our protein in like a container so that I can just keep it full and I don't have to have the plastic protein containers everywhere. I need to go through, see, like this is Sam's protein that he uses, which is different from ours. And so I just need to kind of organize these a little bit better so that they're just easier to access. My cookbooks, I'm going to be doing very soon a updated meal planner and kind of how I organize my cookbook. So stay tuned for that. And then we decided the other day when I was talking to you that like this is probably just not gonna happen. I would love for it to, but I mean, we never really have popcorn when people are over here. And if my kids have it, well, for one thing, Chloe doesn't like it. Christian could eat it for every meal, but he just puts it in a bowl. So I just don't see that we need those. It looks like I need to, that's the other thing that I need to do as I'm doing this is kind of like write down the things that we are out of and that I want to stock. So obviously with the holidays coming, and just fall in general, I'm going to be needing more muffin tins, and so I need to go ahead and restock those. And then all of my pancake mix I want to put into a jar. So Chloe and I just ran to Walmart super fast and I bought these that I'm going to use also. They were really cheap. I was surprised. These were like $8. So, super good deal. So I got 2 of the like screw-on lids, and then 2 of these. Oh no, sorry, I lied. So I got 3 of the latch lid and 1 of the screw-on. And then I also picked up a new dry erase that I'm going to put in there also, because like I said, I'm going to kind of be revamping that little area with our meal plan and all of that. So that is going to go in there. And I think we are good to go. Up here, just kind of the same thing. I just need to go through all of this, make sure I'm not keeping things that I'm never going to use, and just get it out of there. That way, everything in there is what I use. It's easy access. I can find what I need super quickly. I can find what I'm out of super quickly. And it will just be so good to get this done. This has been something that I have needed to do for a long, long time. So I guess we'll get to it. So super quick, I forgot one other thing that we got. I wanted something for like all of these things that I set on my shelves, just to kind of keep, you know, scratches and things like that from happening on my shelves. And so I found these at Walmart. They're gold. It's kind of showing up a little bit silver here, but they were like $1.98, and I can just slip them in there and then put my stuff on top of them. The thing that I like about these is that I can actually cut it to size, because there's all kinds of different circles on here, different diameters that I could use. And so depending on what is going to go on top of that, I can just cut it to where I need it to be. So I'm going to be doing that as well.
Satisfying you while I keep bleeding. I don't know why you act like you innocent. You wanna take a piece of my heart again. I get you up, cause I just don't want you. Something in your eyes, the way you stare me that I like. I wanna let you go, but it's like something else me tight. You might break my heart tonight, but I'm gonna hold it tight. Oh, it feels like yellow, yellow. It hurts like yellow, yellow, yellow. You have to let me go, yellow, yellow. It hurts like yellow. We tried too many times. You're misbehaving. You must not know me. You make me crazy, kinda like Johnny. Don't sit down, better, making me lose my mind, cause I just don't know. Something in your eyes, the way you stare me that I like. I wanna let you go, but it's like something else me tight. You might break my heart tonight, but I'm gonna hold it tight. Oh, it feels like yellow, yellow. It hurts like yellow, yellow, yellow. You have to let me go, yellow, yellow. It hurts like yellow. We tried too many times. Ooh, you got me feeling cool. Ooh, you got me feeling blue. Something about you so see-through. Something just ain't right by you. Yeah, can I do you like I? You like I? Can I do you like I? Yellow, yellow. It hurts like yellow, yellow, yellow. You have to time. Want my love all night. Telling me lies, baby, stop telling me lies. Wide awake is the way that you left me, side by side in your car in the backseat. Wide awake is the way that you left me. Oh, now it's clear we are here back at your house, and I keep fading into the background. I'm wide awake now, you keep missing out for sure. Take down your walls and let me ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, brick by brick, now let me ooh, ooh, ooh. I wanna be right there by your side. I wanna be there, won't you be mine? Take down your walls and let me, yeah, brick by brick, now let me ooh, in my bed 5 to 12.
Everything is put back in here. There's a couple things that will change a teeny tiny bit, but they don't really matter much, I guess. And that is just the meal plan and my cookbooks. And like I've said before, those will be in 2 separate videos. So really that doesn't even have anything to do with the pantry overall. So up above here is where I keep my candles, my food coloring for baking, and then my muffin liners. And then down here we have our xanthan gum, monk fruit, sugar, that type of thing. I like to keep everything kind of categorized in families, I guess. That way it's just a little bit easier to find and maneuver around. Down here we've got our chip clips, and this is just an old container that the lid broke on, and so I just decided to put those in there. And then like I said, this section right here, that will change a little bit. As far as my jars, I just got these at Walmart. I've had these jars up here for years. Those are from Hobby Lobby, but then this style right here that's a little bit more rounded, those are from Walmart. And then down here underneath is my granola and our PB2. And then we've got our straws. Same situation here. I just used an old container that the lid had broken on. We keep all of our drink packets on this shelf, so the kids can put all of their drink mixes together before school and all of that throughout the summer. Down here is all of our nuts, and then under that is our cookie cutters and sprinkles. And as you can see, we only kept a few. We kept the ones that we know for a fact that we use, and so we can get to those easily. On this shelf up at the top, I have got my ground coffee, just my extras, because Lord knows we don't ever want to be just a big diddle and not have what we need. Here I have my popcorn, chocolate chips, and my cocoa powder. And then underneath that we've got powdered sugar, brown sugar, baking powder, and baking soda. And for those of you that may ask, I just made these labels myself on Canva. So super easy. I just obviously wrote what it was and the category, because that's just kind of how my aesthetic mind thinks, and printed them off on sticker paper and cut them out. And then underneath is all of our cereal. For this, I just kind of did a decide once, and these are the cereals that we continuously purchase over and over. And so I just went ahead and put exactly what the cereal was on there. That way, whenever it's out, I know exactly which one it is. I don't have to be, you know, thinking, oh, what should I get next time or whatever. Like, this is it. I don't want to have to think more than I have to. Underneath we've got our pancake mix and our oats. For this pancake mix, it is paleo, so all I have to do is add water, so I don't need, you know, like the ingredients that go into it from the back of the package or any of that. It just makes it very streamlined. And then down under here is where we keep all of our protein. So obviously Sam has a different one, like I said before, than us. And then I just went ahead and took the scoop out of the container that it came in and just threw it in there. That way I'm never searching for something to take it out with, not having to dirty a spoon. It just stays in there. And then down underneath are our potatoes. Obviously we have all of our like cooking pots up here, my bread maker, and then underneath we've got the Instant Pot and my air fryer. And then as you can see, I've got the mats underneath, and you really don't see them, especially on this color wood. It just kind of blends in, and so from back here, like, you don't really see it at all. A tiny bit, but not enough to be like, oh, and who cares? It works. Up here, kind of the same situation. I obviously sanded off that cutting board up there so that you could see it because it was black, and I like it that way. I'm not sure, I might switch up the black pot on the plant just so that it stands out a little bit, but I don't know, I kind of like the way it is. If I did anything, I would make it kind of a grayish, but I kind of like how the greenery just kind of pops around that and kind of mutes the pot itself. So I don't know, we'll see. And then on this shelf we have all of our beans. So I've got black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, and lentils. And again, just decide once what kind of things do we eat all the time. That way it's easy to keep things in stock because you know exactly what is missing. I know what recipes to avoid, just because it's not stuff that we keep on hand, and I don't want to constantly be purchasing stuff that I only use one time for one recipe. And work smarter, not harder, friends. That is just kind of my motto, and just makes things a little bit easier. So over here we've got our mung dal and our spaghetti, brown rice, and quinoa. And again, these containers here are from Walmart. These I've had for longer. They are from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby still keeps them in stock. I don't know if Walmart keeps these in stock that are this tall. I know, you know, obviously they have this size, but I don't recall whether or not I have ever seen them this tall. So Hobby Lobby might be the best bet for ones that would fit like spaghetti and stuff. And then down under here we've got our lo mein, our edamame noodles, rice noodles. This is just, you know, regular pasta over here, and then our red lentil pasta. And again, as you can see, it's just kind of everything is sectioned into families. That way it's an easy go. It's not like, you know, in here just spinning circles looking for something. You can kind of just walk to wherever the family is that the item is that you're looking for. It just makes it a little bit easier. And then down under here we've got flaxseed, cornstarch, gluten-free flour, and our stevia. I keep more of the stevia, obviously, so this is in a bigger container than the regular sugar, which was up here. This is just cane sugar, because I don't use that a ton. I try and use stevia whenever I can, just because it's a little bit more healthy. It's not as much sugar, and so that's kind of my go-to. Not kind of, it is my go-to. but some recipes you just need the real sugar. Under here is where I keep all of my paper towels. I have 2 containers of those. And then underneath on the bottom of these shelves is where we keep our chips or pretzels. This kind of seems to be the best place to keep my pizza crust. So I'm not even gonna add that to the thing. I mean, clearly I can see what's in there. But for the most part, that is for chips and things like that. Over here is where I keep all of my cans, obviously. Again, everything is sectioned off into families. So for this one is where I keep my crushed tomatoes, my diced tomatoes, my tomato paste sauce. Olives are on here because a lot of times we will put olives on our pizza, and so it just kind of goes with these things because underneath is where I keep my pizza sauce. Water chestnuts, that's just kind of where I had to put it. And then my diced tomatoes with chilies, that is on there because a lot of times I will add that to my pizza sauce. I make my own pizza sauce, so that's why that's not on there. Not pizza sauce, I'm sorry. Pasta sauce, like my marinara. And then down under here is where we keep all of our vegetables. So green beans, corn, pumpkin puree. I'm fully stocked on that because, you know, fall. It's a-comin'. Coconut milk, and then my sweet potato puree. I use sweet potato puree for pancakes. I will add it to my pancake mix. I will add it to muffins. And so I kind of go back and forth between that and pumpkin. It just gives it a little different taste. And then underneath is where I keep all of my beans. So I have my black beans, my kidney beans, my garbanzo beans, and then down under here is my refried beans for burritos and things like that. So everything is just easy access. I can look at this. I know exactly what I'm running low on, what I need to restock. And again, it's decide once. I'm not adding anything else to this section because this is literally what we use based on the recipes that we keep in our home. And so I don't have just odds and ends laying around for that one recipe. Now, granted, you know, during the Christmas time and fall time, you know, you may have different recipes that you only make for that time of year. And so that I can understand, but for the most part, everything is pretty streamlined. It's funny because I'm just now seeing the note that Chloe wrote on that board, which, I mean, it's true. So up here is our muffin or cupcake holder. I have had this thing for years. I got it at Walmart, like, oh my goodness, 13, 14 years ago. And I love it. It's a 3-tier and it's just super convenient. In this bucket here is where I keep all of my baking goods that are dry. So I have things like organic pecans and walnuts, and then over here I've got some coconut flour because I do have a couple baking recipes that call for that. And then in this basket is where we keep all of our jams. And I also have applesauce in there as well because sometimes I will sub that for egg since we are vegan. Then in these containers is where I have all of my condiments. So I have my Spanish condiments, which is like salsa, our Cholula sauce, things like that. Next to that is Asian condiments, so soy sauce. What else do I have in here? My hoisin sauce. And then American condiments, so ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, pickles, and then my salad dressings. Underneath that is where we have all of our fruit snacks. So these are kind of grab and go. These are not things that the kids eat here at home necessarily. This is more for like lunches, or if we're in a big hurry and they just need to grab something before we get in the car. That is more what these snacks are for. Next to that is protein snacks. And these are things like granola bars, Lara bars. I am going to make some protein balls to put on this side. And then I just kind of sectioned it off because all of these bars otherwise would just kind of get, you know, bunched up in together. And that's totally fine if they did. But for me, it's just easier this way because I can see what we are, you know, running low on or out of stock with, and it's just a little bit easier to do a one glance versus like sorting through to see, oh, do we have any more of these? Or it's just easier to recognize. And then obviously on the side where the protein balls will go, I can see if we're running low on those and I need to make some more. Underneath that are the sweet snacks. This is what we keep in stock here. During the school year, I will make some vegan cookies and put in baggies to keep in here for lunches. Again, I will do a totally different video on like school lunch planning and snack planning. So, you know, I will go more into detail on that. To the left of that is the salty snacks. We keep these in stock. We usually have Skinny Pop popcorn in here as well, but we're out of that, so I need to get some more of that from Costco. And then back in the back here is, looks like somebody's been into these Ritz Crackers because they were kind enough to leave 2. But I keep Ritz Crackers back here as well. And again, it's just the same little container that I have up here just to kind of keep things sectioned off and easier to see. And these are from Walmart. My white buckets are from Target. I've had them for quite a few years, but I think that they still sell those. If not these exact ones, they sell similar ones. And then underneath, I have my pancake syrup, my honey and peanut butter, and then I also have molasses back there just because fall and Christmas I have a couple recipes that call for that. And then over here are the lunch items for school. So this is like the macaroni and cheese that we make for thermoses. I need to restock this, but we put like canned soup and stuff in there as well. Anything that goes along with our own kind of lunch menu. Down under here is where I have all of my extra items. So, you know, extra peanuts, cereal, things like that. If you can hear that, Daisy is eating. That's what the chewing is. Now she's like looking at me because she hears me talking about her. And then over to the left of that is where I keep all of my vegetable broth. And I clearly need to fix that tag because now I see that underneath that it says cereal and it's not, obviously. So I'll swap that out. And that's it. That is how I organize all of this. Over here is where I'll just keep this so that anything that we are running low on or that we're out of, myself or the kids or Sam can just hurry and jot that down. We don't have to, you know, walk somewhere else to write it down, put it in my phone, whatever. It's just right here. And then I will just glance at this every time before I order groceries. This is where we keep all of our fruit and vegetables. There's nothing there right now because we're going to the lake this weekend. And so I've kind of cleaned everything out. And then over here on this wall, this is where the meal plan and snack list will go. And like I said, I will show you guys all of that in a totally separate video that is coming next week. That way you can kind of start planning for that. And then back behind this door is where we keep all of the kids' lunch bags for their lunches, and then the ones up above is for like snacks and things for sports that they can keep separate from their lunch container and just keep that one in their duffel bag. I will do a separate video on this room back here. This is just kind of my storage area. I'll go over it just super quick because some of you may have questions about where I keep my oils and stuff like that. So the lady that lived here before we did was just a crazy organizer, thank the Lord. But she had this area under the stairs built out for use, so it wasn't dead space. So back here, I've just taken these like little storage cube bookcases from Walmart, and this is where I keep some of my extra stuff. So we keep our dog food in this container right here, which is from Walmart. In these buckets here is where I keep my daily oils. So I have like coconut oil in there, avocado oil, EVOO, things like that that I reach to on a more daily basis. And then over here is where I keep the vinegars, like rice wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, things like that. And then down under here is where we keep all of our water bottles. This is where I keep my jars for like my refrigerator storage for my vegetables, things like that. And then over here, I just have kind of different things that I keep in stock. So I've got my lettuce spinner, my, what do I want to say? My coffee sweeteners. I have an extra coffee maker there for kind of more the holidays or when we have a lot of people and we're not wanting to just do K-cups for everything. And then these shelves, or rather drawers right here, I need to kind of go through them a little bit more because I haven't touched that in this process, but this is where I keep like all of our spices, like my extra spices. So that's just kind of extra stuff or big things that don't go in my regular spice drawer. So like nutritional yeast, this is a ginormous container. My taco seasoning, things like that, that don't fit in my regular space. That is where that goes. Under here is like disposable dinnerware, so paper plates, plastic silverware, napkins, things like that. And then underneath that is my food storage, so like plastic wrap, aluminum foil, things like that. And then down underneath is where I keep my food containers, like my metal tins, or my aluminum tins rather, and just different things like that. So that's kind of how I organize that. This drawer system is from IKEA, and we've had that for quite some time also. I just moved it in here when we moved into this house because it fit, and I thought it would be a great way to just kind of keep everything organized. And then again, those cube containers are from Walmart. So that is what is back in there and kind of why you don't see some of that stuff out and about. And like I said, I'll do a different video down the line on that. That stuff is not really as pertinent or necessary as the rest of the stuff in here, but this is what the finished product looks like. And then over here, we just have a step stool and the dog dishes. And then I just have a little mat down here under the dog food. That way, like when they drink and stuff, it doesn't just, you know, lop all over the floor.
Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I have been so excited to show you this project, and I hope that you'll be able to take pieces here and there and bring them into your space to make your home a little bit more manageable. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. I don't have a set schedule when I post. It's just more when I get the work done and I'm able to edit and post it to YouTube. So by clicking on that bell, it will just notify you each time that a new video has posted and just take the guesswork out of the equation for you guys. Like I mentioned before, I have so many videos coming up for back to school and fall over the upcoming weeks, and my plan is to post a video at least 3 times a week from now until the end of the year. Next time you come, bring your friends and we can all hang out together. I love this community and truly believe that we can learn so much from each other. And let's be honest, like, what's more fun than decorating with all your friends? All right, until next time, remember, the best way to get something done is to simply begin. Now go get after it and believe in yourself just as much as I believe in you. Bye-bye.